Hello, good evening. Welcome to That Mill Podcast Friday Night Live. I'm Omer. Joining me today, I've got Frankie. Hello, pal. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, look forward to the trip to West London, Loftus Road tomorrow, mate.
No, I can't stand lunchtime kickoffs. And I'm not mad on Loftus Road. Am I glad to be back at football? Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking forward to
of
a
course.
pint. But better if it was 3 o'clock, wouldn't it?
There's a song in there for Sky TV somewhere. I'm pretty sure we could recall on if we wanted to. But yeah, Sky TV obviously changing the times as per usual. Good evening to the chat. Get your hellos in there. It is Friday. We're previewing tomorrow's game. We'll obviously talk about a few different various talking points from the week. Obviously, the main thing being really injuries. We'll also go on to talk about, a couple of talking points. It's Sav's 200th game tomorrow for the Lions. We'll obviously cover that a bit and talk about our high points of George Saville's spells, 4 spells at Mill over the time. Obviously, talk about the opportunity Langstaff's going to have this year, and obviously we'll talk all things QPR, our team lineups, and give some predictions. So I'm going to run the intro very quickly, and then we'll say hello to the chat, and then we'll crack on. Let's roll the intro. I'll address the elephant in the room. There is no Mickey tonight, so he's washing his hair. So he's quite busy at the moment. He's got a few things to sort out. He's got a little visit to Turkey planned as well, I'm pretty sure, to get a hair transplant soon. So get the early jibes in. But no, it's just me and Frankie at the moment. We might see Stephen appear a bit later on, but I think you got the better two, haven't we, Frankie? So we can, we'll hold the fort. We'll be all right. So we'll say that's the chat anyway. Evening to Dan. Hello, mate. How are you? Hello, Peter. Hello, Andrew. Hello to Connor. Hello to Chris. Hello, Dan. Free Mickey. Yeah, I mean, no Mickey tonight, like I mentioned, guys. Hello, B Lion. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, no Mick tonight. Mickey is injured. Yeah, so he's. But no, I think he's on a little date night, bless him. So we'll let him have a Friday off once in a while. So I'm sure he's having a good time. So we'll let him crack on with that. Hello to Daily Mill. Hope you're well, pal. Hello, Monica Jones. And hello, Stephen Bevan as well. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think we'll just go straight into it. It's a morning to you, Tony. I think you're down under, aren't you, I believe? So, hello, Tony. Hope you're well. Good evening from the UK. So, Frankie, mate, we'll go straight into the main talking point from the week. And it's injuries. Obviously, is he injured? Is he not? Scanlon, obviously, the Liverpool loanee has been reported as injured. He posted himself on Instagram, then promptly deleted it. That's 7 injuries in total you've tallied up before the show, mate. And obviously that's Ivanovic, Cooper. Obviously he misses the weekend's game. Feared to not be as serious as first thought. Obviously Coburn's out for 8 weeks. Billy Mitchell, Bradshaw, and Adam Mayer. And yeah, I mean, keep tallying up, don't they, mate? And doesn't seem to be any end in near sight.
Yeah, it just feels proper Millwall, doesn't it? It wouldn't be us if there weren't absolute long list of injuries falling behind us. It's probably our fault because I think on last week's pod was talk about Ivanovic and Coburn saying how well Coburn did against Wednesday. You're thinking that's all right. You haven't got to rush Ivanovic back now.
Yeah.
What, less than 24 hours later? Turns out you do. So
I do agree with you. I think we've obviously all jinxed him thinking he's the answer, he's the Messiah, and I still think he is. He obviously got injured early doors, didn't he, in the first half against Luton. It's a real shame, isn't it? I mean, because obviously we signed him on loan. He's not our player. We've all discussed this on the shows as such, but I think he offered the opportunity to kind of bed in, kind of kick on. He played so well in his debut, then to get injured, and obviously we mentioned Scanlon's injury too. The question has to be asked though: why are these injuries happening? Because obviously Scanlon in particular was a training ground injury, I believe. Not really seen anything else been posted. Obviously, came as a sub did against Luton as well, so maybe got injured in his little cameo. But I'm not sure. It's a bit of a weird one. I mean, the chat, what do you think as well? But all these injuries seem to be building up at Millwall, and I don't know where they come from, Frankie.
No, and it's it feels like we've changed a lot as well. So I want to say the some part of the medical team's changed a bit this year. So because it was someone we were out in it previously, and he's now
Mhm.
gone. So it can't be that. It's different players. It's not always the same players. Don't get wrong. We do have usual suspects like Hutch and Leonard always tends to get a knock, but when you're getting 7 players and you're thinking Cooper's never injured.
Mm.
Like, Mayer seems to have been pretty consistent before he joined us, and Coburn again never really had many knocks that really from if you look at his record previously. So where's as you said, mate, where do they come from? Why does it keep happening? Something must be going wrong because no one else is getting it. It feels that way anyway.
Yeah, maybe it is just a case of bad luck. I mean, touch words, Ryan Lillard has not been injured for a while. You can't help but feel these inevitable injuries coming. The same with Sean Hutchinson. I mean, obviously, no Cooper this weekend, and we'll discuss obviously who we think is going to probably play next to Tanganga or Tangdanga, as Mickey might say. But yeah, it's an interesting one anyway. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe it is just a case of bad luck, but I think, as Andrew says here, thought of with our change of personnel behind the scenes that we would be getting a new medical team to prevent these injuries. It could just be misfortune.
Mhm.
And maybe other teams get hit with it as much, maybe just as much as we do, but we pay more attention to it because it's our club. But yeah, I mean, it does beg the question: like, is it something to do with the training grounds? I mean, B Line says here that training ground is like a swamp. I mean, I heard they invested quite a lot of money into the training ground, so I'm not sure if it is
All
maybe
new
to do with
pitches,
actual.
isn't it, this year?
Sorry.
All new pitches this year, isn't it? Spent all summer.
Yeah, I think
enjoying
also Rowett said at one point during his time with us, and I've said these names. Apologies, everyone, but I think he said something to do with the surface was different to the Den pitch. So you had the Den pitch, which was a certain type of pitch. The training ground was a different type of pitch. I'm pretty sure that was what was said. Maybe I've made out completely out of nowhere, but I think that maybe has some sort of impact whether they used to play on different surfaces or. But it just sounds like excuses to me personally. But Connor says here something's going on. Maybe Harris is 2 foot in them in training. I mean,
any more injuries, mate? Harris is playing, so Harris got a goal bonus.
Yeah, I mean, Peter says here maybe they should only train at the Den potentially. I mean, the thing is, like, we don't. It's not even like we're a type of side. I mean, maybe they're too committed in training. Like, they always say to train at a certain level. Perhaps, maybe sometimes you do need to curb it back a bit, but it does seem to be hitting us more than any other team, really. But yeah, I mean, I mentioned Jake Cooper's injury. Obviously, he's injured, and as you mentioned, he's not often injured anyway, Frankie. But it is an opportunity, perhaps. It's not going to be Wes Harding coming in, is it, tomorrow? It's probably going to be Sean Hutchinson. But at least we still got Tanganga next to him. Perhaps, I think, judging on Hutch's performance in the second half Saturday against Luton, I thought he actually done a good job, to be fair, at times, and wasn't out of place, really, next to the likes of Tanganga.
No, I agree, mate. I think if you look at like Cooper for years, he always played better when he was next to Hutch.
Yeah.
Is it a similar situation now with Cooper and Hutch will play better if they're next to Tanganga, a bit more legs, a bit more comfortable on the ball? It can't hurt them, can it? But I mean, Wes Harding last year at QPR had an absolute nightmare, didn't it, against Stuart Armstrong? So he obviously won't be himself, but he wouldn't want to play on that pitch anytime soon, I can imagine.
No, that's true. I mean, Harding's not even been on the bench, has he, recent weeks? I mean, what's happened to Wes Harding? Anyone in the chat got any rumours on that one? But yeah,
Last time I saw him, he was training to be a ref.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story that came out about him and Murray Wallace, wasn't it, last Friday? But yeah, I mean, so perhaps Andrew Roberts here's comment saying Barrett transitioned from Rowett to Harris, and maybe it's his training methods that are too hard on the players. I mean, I imagine he takes training, Barrett, but it could be something there. But Jonathan Fraser says, "Is the new signings that are injured? Are we signing players that are carrying injuries because we're desperate?" Could be something in that. Maybe they're trying to get up to speed with what's going on and how we train. Maybe there's something in that.
There's definitely something in that. I think we tend to sign players that are carrying knocks, maybe a little bit broken in the past, and that's why we can afford them.
Yeah.
But yeah, still frustrating.
I think I met Jonathan on Saturday at the Den. I could be wrong. It was pre-game and I had a few beers at this point. I know it was a 12:30 kickoff too, but Jonathan, if that was you, it was nice to meet you on Saturday, mate. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, chat, come on, get your thoughts in. Sean Hutchinson probably likely to play tomorrow, or would we try something different? We'll get onto the team a bit later on and what we think the lineup might be. But yeah, I mean, what kind of lineup are we expecting tomorrow as well? We'll discuss that. But is it going to be Sean Hutchinson next to Tanganga, or could we see something slightly different? Could we see maybe Leonard move across? I mean, I don't think so, but there's different options in that team anyway. So, what would be your preferred central defensive pairing tomorrow going into the game? Is there any new truth about the Scanlon injury from Nick Sims? We don't know. We've obviously seen the same kind of stuff that's been online from everyone else. Not sure. But yeah, I think
it'd be a weird thing to tweet if he weren't injured, wouldn't it? But yeah, who knows?
I think also what he said in that, I mean, it wasn't made up, that Instagram, so I don't think it could have been, someone trying to have a laugh or giggle. But he went on to say, good luck for the rest of the year. I think obviously that probably means, I imagine, Frankie's going back to Liverpool to do his rehab because he is their player, I suppose.
Yeah, and we're only speculating, I guess. Who knows? But is that then potentially the reason why he's removed it? A little bit of bureaucracy maybe between the two clubs. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. We'll probably find out before the game tomorrow, I'd imagine. When he's not on.
Interesting one from Daily Millwall. I think you told me just before we went live, Cooper's been out on the pitch this week, Frankie. I haven't seen it. Was there pictures of it going around or something? Maybe you saw that, but
no, I just heard the rumour I heard.
Rumour you heard that Cooper could be playing. I mean, Cooper is that kind of character, didn't he? He had that dislocated shoulder, I remember, during lockdown, and still managed to play against Birmingham, I think, or he wanted to play, and the club said you can't play the game or something along those lines. See, if he'll be doing all he can to be available to him, wouldn't he?
I doubt he'll play, to be honest with you. It would seem too much of a risk, but if he has been on grass, you'd imagine he'd be doing everything he can to at least get on the bench, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that is true. Evening, Alex. Hope you're well. Coburn had bad injury at Borough last season, Basley says. So there you go, maybe he did have an injury last season. There you go. What I noticed from that, though, is I saw an article from, I think it was posted up by a Middlesbrough fan or on Middlesbrough's social media, but I saw that Coburn's staying down here with us for 8 weeks for his rehab. So, I mean, if Scanlon's gone back to Liverpool, obviously they've left him down here, Coburn, which I suppose is a sign of him trying to stick around, and obviously maybe they're trusting him to do his rehab for him, Frankie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and to be fair, though, 6 weeks is a bit different to what was Scanlon, 4 months.
4 months, supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit different, and one is pretty much a near on season end, I guess. Whereas this is inconvenient, couple of international games. He'll miss 10 games, if that. So he'll back before you know it. But I'd rather him be here and be ready when he's back than not and be panicking again.
Yeah, no, for sure. B Lion says here, I'd rather have Harding, bit of pace at the back, bring Hutchinson on in the second half if it don't work. We know what we're getting with Hutch. Tank and Harding is still an untested partnership. I think they would actually complement each other quite well, the pair of them. I guess the only thing, maybe doubt or criticism for Harding is we've not really seen him in the central pairing of a back four. I mean, obviously he played in the back three under Edwards a lot last season, didn't he, Frankie? So I saw him actually in pre-season. I know it was only pre-season in Mercia because I went to Mercia. It's the ongoing joke of the chat, but I went out to Mercia for one of the games. But it surprised me. I think it was him and Tanganga that played centre-half against them. But he was very vocal as well, and he's obviously been credited as being a good leader in that dressing room as well, Harding. So for him, obviously, to be offered out or to go out on loan or to leave the club on deadline day and not feature since, I don't know. I mean, I've not seen anything obviously going around, but it's obviously not a very acrimonious kind of situation for him at the moment. It feels like if you used to read between the lines, and obviously we've got an injury to one of our centre halves, but we've not seen Harding since. I think he wasn't even on the bench against Leighton Orient, was he? And that was the last time he was seen anyway. So it's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, it is strange. It doesn't really come across as, and don't get me wrong, never met the bloke, but it doesn't come across as sort of personality to be sitting there kicking up a stink or throwing a strop. There was obviously a lot of stuff in pre-season, wasn't there, that he just basically wants to play football. And he was happy to drop a level to do so. So, obviously, he can't be that happy himself. And at the minute, if he was to play tomorrow, would he even be fit if he's not playing? What sort of state's he in? Who knows?
Yeah, it's true. Very true. And he's not even featured for the 21s. I know they lost the other day, but yeah, he's not been really seen anywhere. So it is a strange one because he doesn't strike me as a character to kick up a fuss. And I think it's been reported he's quite, like I said, a senior figure in that dressing room. So it's a bit of a strange one. I mean, that's Chris Brown saying, what is Harris' problem with Harding? Is it Harris or who knows? I mean, obviously Harding, I can see his frustration not getting the opportunity under Harris, I suppose, especially at the start of the season. I felt like he should have got more of a chance, but didn't go that way for him. I guess we'll go on to, well, actually, one other thing from Alex, for his initial comment is prior to that, but I'd be tempted to put Lenny centre back and bring Danny Mack right back. We've not seen that before, but I wouldn't be against the idea, I mean, I suspect it'll be Hutchinson and Tanganga, don't get me wrong, but Is there an argument there? Maybe do you think, Frankie, that could be a possibility?
I mean, I guess there is, but I personally would be reluctant to move. I think Leonard's been probably most consistent performer over the last 2 seasons, so
Yeah.
I'd be reluctant to move him. Personally, I think we're more likely to see Danny Mack at left back.
Do you reckon?
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a couple of comments from Harris about London derbies and stuff, and picking people to play into that kind of atmosphere. It was talking a bit more about young players, but it wouldn't shock me if he changes it about this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, this is the first comment I was just before that was any updates on the big Serbs. I guess I'll segue neatly into the forward positions. We mentioned Koba's injury, Frankie, but
Mhm.
I think the big Serb's got good news. Mitrovic, I was about to call him there. Ivanovic has got good news. His injury is not as it's obviously it's not as worse as first feared, and supposedly he was meant to be back into training this week, from what I saw. So,
I
is
read
there a
that he's
chance?
an outside. Apparently, he's an outside bet to get on the bench this weekend.
I heard the same thing. So,
Mm.
be good to see if he makes the bench. 'Cause obviously, there's no one else really to be up front. But the main talk point, we'll talk about the Serb in a minute and what we think, and is he going to make the bench or not? But there's a real opportunity in place here for Macaulay Langstaff, who obviously was signed in the summer. He had that opportunity in the second half, didn't he, on the weekends? I was gutted he missed it, to be honest. I mean, it was a good effort, but keeper got his foot to it, didn't he? And it just went wide of the post. But Langstaff, we'll chat. What do we think? He's a real opportunity now. Obviously, he was, everyone was calling for him to get an opportunity to play. I don't see him not starting tomorrow, to be honest. What do we think of Langstaff's opportunity tomorrow? And do we think he can take it? So I'll come to you, Frankie. What's your thoughts on that? And I mean, what did you make of him for this? What we saw of him on the first half and second half Saturday?
I thought it was probably his best performance in Millwall shirt since I've seen him.
Yeah,
Obviously, he missed the chance, and he didn't miss; it was safe, but didn't score. And I think that probably takes a bit of a that's obviously the overwhelming thing in it. But I actually thought a lot of his link-up play was quite good. Looked good when he come deep and got the ball against Leyton Orient. Things just bouncing off him. I thought actually against Luton, he looked a lot more settled and capable. I was really stuck with Harris in the week, and he was saying pretty much the same with it. He thought actually he played well against Luton. He's going to get an opportunity, and he seems to be backing him, which he's got to do, I guess, because there's no one else available. So,
yeah,
but no, I think he's got to play, and I think it wouldn't shock me if he gets 90 minutes. Hopefully, I think he's one of the people. I think he'll score one, and you'll see a different player.
yeah. I think that's what B Lyons just said just a minute ago. Here, he needs one goal to get him going, then he'll score constantly. He also said initially beforehand he buries that chance. He's playing regular and confident. It's true. Like I've got high hopes for him. He's a goal scorer. Obviously, we spoke about it on multiple shows in the last few weeks because he hasn't had that opportunity to start. It's a different kettle of fish playing in the Championship compared to the Conference and League Two, isn't it? And it is his real opportunity now. He was obviously begging for that chance to kind of get into the team, and through one person's misfortune, as is the case always in football, he's got an opportunity, hasn't he? And he's got to take it with both hands. I'm excited to see him play. I thought he'd done all right Saturday as well. I agree with you. I thought it was probably his best performance so far. Didn't
What
pull
do you
up
make
like
of this? Do you think there's anything more?
the miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think if it was a more confident Langstaff and probably more informed, he probably takes it around the keeper or does something. He's through on goal and he's got the opportunity, hasn't he? And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, or even dinks the ball over him, or it's instinctive. Maybe I think he'd done everything right. If I'm totally honest, it was on target. It was going to the corner, and the keeper's gone one way and got lucky with his foot to save it. Do you know what I mean? And
Decent touch. Yeah.
yeah, and I think we're seeing signs of what we've got there. And he's going for a full week of training, knowing he's going to be playing tomorrow. And he seems like a confident lad. Like, I think he's got to take it with both hands tomorrow. And I do think, if we give the service to him, he'll score goals. I really do. And the only difference with the Championship is we've seen with loads of players that have played in the Championship, they've played in lower leagues and gone up. Even the same with the Championship to the Premier League. We talk about like Southampton, for example. They had their couple of opportunities against Southampton, against Man United the weekend just gone. But you don't get as many opportunities the higher up the divisions you go. So he's scored loads of goals, and he obviously scored abundance for Notts County, but then Notts County are creating more chances, I feel like. And we're creating chances, there's no doubt about that, and we're playing a style that will create chances for him. I just hope he comes good, and maybe he's one of those ones where he's a ball goes off his arse and goes in the back of the net. Do you know what I mean, Frankie?
Yeah, 100%, mate. I think he'll score a shit one and suddenly be flying. I've got no doubt it'll be a good signing for the club given time, but it's just a shame. Obviously, at the minute we almost need to deliver now, really. But no, I like him. I think he's a good player. Seems like a nice lad. And I think he definitely brings something a little bit different to what Bradshaw and Nisbet were bringing. So hopefully it starts to click for him.
I think a lot of people were echoing the same things, really. I think on Daily Mill's point, and also Alex went on to say afterwards, Langstaff starts, but he can't be a point man. I think he probably is getting at him being a target man, because Alex says as long as we don't just pump long balls up to him, I think it's fair to say if we do pump long balls up, for me, it's the midfield being far up the pitch beyond the second ball, and I felt like we've done that so well against Sheffield Wednesday. At times against Luton, we did that as well, and I do think that's something that's been drummed into. Yeah, and it's something that's been drummed into the players. Like, if we're playing it up to Langstaff, he's got to do something. What Bradshaw does very well, he's no target man by any means, but Bradshaw does enough to put the defender off enough that you can't get a good connection on it. It drops down to a midfielder, and then we've got a chance to play from there. And I think that's what Langstaff's going to have to do if the balls go up to him. QPR, I mean, we'll get on to them in a minute, but they're no pushovers. You know, since that new manager's come in last season, he's got them playing good football. And his name escapes me. Frankie's going to tell me what the manager's name is.
Marty Cifuentes.
There you go. What was he? Where was he before? Do you know?
It was. I've not stalked the bloke, but
was it Sweden? Hammarby or Lincoln?
Yeah.
There you go.
We played him in a friendly, didn't we? When he was the manager again.
Yeah. So
he actually worked for us back in the day for our 21s.
He worked for who?
Millwall. Yeah, was that our 21s as a coach, something like that, doing his like football apprenticeships and coaching badges.
I didn't know that. Anyone in the chat know that? I reckon Daily Mill might have known that. But what, Fuentes was an under-21s coach for Millwall?
Something like that. 21s, 18s, academy. I can't remember. But
someone fact check Frankie. Is he correct? I'm not doubting him, but I didn't know that. Carl Bracey on Langstaff. He's got a huge chance now. I think he will score. Connor says the same. He'll come good. Andrew says Langstaff needs the service on the ground as he got against Luton. And John Parr's gone on to say Morrison and Gregory took time to get scoring. And yeah, the boys everyone's in the chat saying the same thing. Husky, he was at the Husky Club before. He works too hard to be a goal hanger. We need more players to run in behind. I suppose he's also talking about Langstaff there. We've got enough players in the wide areas to offer that, kind of opportunity, haven't we, Frankie? I mean, we don't just get straight up the ball. We don't get straight up the pitch, do we? We do try and build from the back occasionally, and it's not just gung ho as much as it was last season.
Yeah, I think he's right. Ultimately, I think we do need players running behind. I know he didn't have the best game on Saturday, but I thought one of the best passages of play was when Aziz got in behind, made a run off, Langstaff played him through, and we probably should have bet on him scoring a position. I think what we did do well with Langstaff in the second half once we adjusted was we've got players closer to him, Honeyman, SA, and what more? All seems to play a bit narrower. I think they're trying to play off his touch more. So you can't play off headers like you would for Coburn. So you've got to get close. And I think we did that. Maybe lacked a little bit of width as a product, but we do need to. He's right. Like we can't play the same way we do with Coburn. We've got Langstaff up front.
And the boys in the chat are backing you up. He used to be a youth coach at Millwall, and Beeline says, yeah, he was a coach for us in 2008. That's a long time ago. Kenny Jackett eras. That is a heck of a long time ago. Did you know that, or did you find out when you started stalking on Wikipedia today?
Yeah. I remember reading it in a paper, like after we got appointed by QPR, thinking, because I think we had Rout at the time, or might have just got Edwards, and you're thinking, why don't we fucking go for him? He looks all right.
Yeah, for sure.
But all what down the end.
It's very true. Dean Jones says, SA playing the 10 position will pass the ball to Langstaff and he will score. Do you think that's kind of got a bit off tangent here? And I know it's been discussed in shows, obviously, since Fleming's departure as well as such. But do you think SA's long-term position should be in the 10 position? What's your opinion on that, Frankie?
100%.
Yeah.
I actually thought on Saturday when he come central, we brought Aziz on for Honeyman, was it?
Yep.
I thought SA looked good in that role. I think you could tell he was confident. He was drifting out into wide areas and he was causing problems. I could see Harris on the sideline from where I sit. He was constantly looking over him, sort of asking if he was okay. So I don't know if that was an injury or just fatigue. But it was a shame he come off because I thought he was properly getting in the game more centrally rather than out wide. So yeah, I agree with Dean there, mate. I think 100%. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a world, even an away game. So tomorrow is a prime example where if you put SA in the 10, we know he works hard for the team as well. So, Honeyman's in that 10 position, I think, because he offers a more defensive kind of style, obviously, and he obviously can get around the pitch. I think Esse's demonstrated this season so far that he's willing to do the hard yards and to get back and forth down the right hand side. I do think there's a world where Esse plays the 10, you've got Aziz on the right, and you've got Watmore on the left, and then you've got that counter-attacking ability away from home. I suspect QPR, I've seen them a few times under Fuentes, and they do like to look after the ball a bit more. They do like to try and, retain possession. I can see a world where we're compacting our shape, and then we've got the likes of Aziz, we've got the likes of Watmore, got the likes of Esse to get on the ball, turn at them and get them quickly. And then that's when you can get the opportunities for the likes of Langstaff to run through on goal. I can see that. I really can. I mean, is he going to play Esse in the 10 tomorrow instead of George Honeyman? Probably not. Let's be really real about it. But I do see that as, I personally have the opinion that I thought Esse's best position is out wide on the right. But you're right. When he went into the central area last week, I thought he's actually quite, he's handy there. But I just think he enjoys drifting around the pitch a bit. And you can still do that in a central position. But I think what Harris wants with the 10 is to kind of be a bit more in the middle and help out the forward man and kind of offer that second striker. So I don't know. We'll see in the long term.
If he's going to do that, he's going to drift around. He needs people around him that are going to pick up the responsibility and be on his level, really. And
what do we think, chat?
We've got that in a minute.
No, I do agree with you. What do we think, chat? Carl says he's definitely number 10 all day long. Do we think Roman Esse is a number 10? I think he suits playing on the right, but I can see him being in a 10 long term, obviously. Let the talent be the talent, Daily Mill says there. I guess what I'll talk about next is another player who's in the news this week for positive reasons. It's George Saville. He was interviewed by Mill TV yesterday, and the Mill social media page was going ham on it and posting it everywhere. He's due to play 200th game for Millwall this weekend. I think he follows Tom Bradshaw, who's done it this season. Last season, I'm pretty sure Bart did it, I think, or the year before. There was a few players that got 200 appearances in recent times. I remember them posting a picture of everyone holding the shirts. Billy Mitchell got his 100th, I think, last season.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, a few landmarks. We know we've got the players that have been here for a long time. In George Saville's case, his first game for us was back in 2014, so nearly a decade ago. And obviously, he's been here for a little while in 4 different spells. I think 1 loan spell initially, then another loan spell before signing permanently, and then he went on to Wolves, obviously, after that. So he went to Wolves, then we got him from Wolves, didn't we? And then he came back, then he went to Middlesbrough, and then came back to us afterwards. But his 200th game for the Lions, he's been my favourite player for a long time, Saville. He's still doing the job, and he's still getting himself about the pitch, isn't he? And proving a lot of people wrong. Would you make of George Saville, mate? Are you a fan of him? You're putting a face. I'm not sure. Let's hear it. Come on, we're yin and yang here.
I'm going to get shot down for this, and I will caveat it slightly. I don't really know what Saville's good at. He ain't quick. He ain't that strong. Yeah, you got to be finishing. He ain't quick. He ain't that strong. He ain't that good on the ball. But we are a better team with him in the side. So he must be doing something. Whether it's just he's incredibly intelligent, I have no idea. But I sort of watch him sometimes think, I don't really know what you're doing. But he's obviously doing something right out there, and I'm just missing it. Maybe I'm too drunk after time tonight. I don't know.
I wish Stephen was here right now, because Stephen would be sticking up for George Saville. I would be. Do you know, I think...
I'm not anti that, like.
No, you're not, because you saved it well at the end there, because I kind of get where you're coming from with what you're saying. We are a better team within that side, though. He just, like, I was looking for, Daily Mill says it here, it's the dark arts. It's not necessarily just the dark arts. I feel like he's a championship veteran for me. He's been pointing into that, and he's been in the championship for a long time. He kind of patrols the midfield. He knows when to make the tactical fouls that are going to lead to a booking. His in-game management is key, and especially when we're a side that doesn't look after the ball a lot, we need to be organised in the middle. We need to kind of go from left to right, kind of stay compact in our shape. He's not the fastest. You're right. He's not the best ball playing midfielder we've got. He's probably not even the best tackler. He might be the best tackler, maybe, when I think about it. But he reads the game very well. He's intelligent. I think that's part of his upbringing when he came through the Chelsea Academy. I think he knows how...
His interception stats are incredible.
Yeah, and he knows where to be at the right time. And I think that's a huge skill that, a lot of people play down with him, really. And you're right, though. Like, he's a bit of an unsung hero for me. But I think that's why I love him. Like, he will be that player that will, I find that I'm going crazy for at the end of the game, because he's put a last-ditch tackle in, or he's marshalled something out. He's won us a corner in the far corner to try and hold on to a point away from home. I think they're the things that I appreciate a lot in a player like Saville. for me. But interesting take. I do get where you're coming from though, and I think you just about saved it at the end there.
So I think he's a good player. I think, but well, is he a good player? I don't know. I said I watch him most weeks and think, you think to yourself, it's one of them. We think, I've got a lot of opinions about football, as we all have,
Yeah.
and this is one where I'm 100% happy to admit I'm definitely wrong on this one, but I'm sticking to it anyway, and I don't really know what he's good at, but he must
I
be
get
doing
that.
something out there, and I'm sure the chat's absolutely hammering me, and
Well, we'll get into.
that's fair.
I don't. No one's actually gone for you, really. To be fair, I think a lot of people. I think you saved it with your comment at the end there. Dan Briggs says Hutch got 250 last season, got the shirt. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Old man Saville from Daily Millwall. He's not the flair. He's not got the flair he used to have. I'd argue he didn't have much flair in the first place. Beeline, to be fair, but he scored a lot of goals, which kind of a lot of people made him kind of shoehorned into something he wasn't really.
A lot of free kicks, yeah.
Yeah, and he was on a lot of second balls. He got 10, didn't he, in that season when we got first promoted to the Championship under Harris the first time round. But he's not the flair. He's not got the flair he used to have. But he's solid. He's not great, and he's not great at anything, but consistently good at everything. I'll give him that. I think that's fair.
Agree with that. Yeah.
Carl did say very harsh about Sav, so there you go. Jonathan says Sav is an organizer, good positional sense, and knows the game inside out. Dean Joe says
I'd agree with that. I think he's very intelligent.
Yeah, Saville will slowly phase out this season in favour of Kelly and Billy Mitchell. Now, that's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, we've obviously signed Daniel Kelly early. We got him before the January window and paid a fee for him. Not really seen him in the league, have we? And I don't think we will for a little while still. And interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, if he ain't getting minutes without Mitchell it doesn't bode well for when Mitchell comes back. I don't think he's played a minute of league, has he? He played against Lake Norton, that was it, I think.
I believe that's the correct. Maybe I could be wrong if there's a game come as a sub, but I don't recall. I think it's just been the Late Norton game. Got 45 minutes and hooked off at half time.
And I thought it was all right in that game.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I did as well. So we would run out of comment ready. Saville and Joe Bryan are joint second in the Championship for interceptions. So there you go. So that's good stat from Connor. He went on to say he loves Sav, brilliant player. Andrew says Saville doesn't score enough goals, especially compared to his first stint with us. Mind you, none of our midfielders get enough goals in a season. It's true. I think it's probably a victim of how we play, really, because under Harris in that first season in the Championship, Saville's role was to get forward and get on the end of things. It was him and Willow in the midfield, Sean Williams. Williams would sit deep. Saville would be on the knockdowns from Morrison or Gregory and kind of find himself in positions to score goals and get in the box. Almost Tim Cahill-esque, I could argue, in that season. Thoughts?
Yeah, he was that first season Championship. It was spot on. I said I think there's a lot of free kicks. And I think he had a good spell like around like January sort of time where he in the start of the season we sort of got goals in bunches, didn't he? But it was a completely different player then. But I remember 2 years ago when I think Rowett was at the time, and again I know I got paid tenner now, fine off. But he was trying to phase him out, and he sort of come back in as number 10, didn't he? Scored a goal against Coventry and stuff, and earned his way back into the side. So there's been plenty of managers that have tried to get rid of him, and he keeps sticking back. He's doing something right.
Do you reckon he's in his last season for Millwall? There's an interesting topic because we've mentioned Kelly, we've mentioned Billy Mitchell. That probably will both come back in. Well, Billy Mitchell especially will come back into the fold, no doubt. We've also got Casper Denor, got a young contingent of midfielders there. You've got George Honeyman who's still around. I'd personally want to extend George Honeyman's contract. I think he's in his last year of his deal as well, if I'm not mistaken, because we signed him. He's in his first season, George Honeyman?
Yeah.
So you'd imagine George Honeyman's out of contract. Do you think this could be Saville's last season for Millwall?
The way we're going, no. Because I think he's playing too many games. It would seem insane to not renew it. But I think he'll probably have to renew and accept that he maybe won't have the same role in the squad. And if Hutchinson's only a 1 year extension, won it as well. And Wallace is up this year too, I think.
Okay.
So that'd be quite a lot of experience to go. So I think he'll get kept on.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, if he's willing to play a bit part role in a sense, I suppose, or I'm sure he would. But he strikes me as a player that wants to play a lot of games still. I just see a world. I would personally, if it was a no kind of consequence, no implication of finances or anything like that, would I want George Saville still in the squad next season? Absolutely. I'll put the question to the chat as well. Like, would you keep Saville? But I do think with the likes of Mitchell, Denor, like I said, Dan Kelly, and obviously Honeyman being slightly younger than Saville as well, I do think there's an argument to say that it could be, if we're thinking as the club and how Berylson wants to take it going forward, of becoming that club that buys young and tries to sell profit. Does Saville fit that quota? But then you could say maybe the likes of Hutchinson leave at the end of the season, Murray Wallace leaves at the end of the season. You will need someone in there that's been around it for a while.
In that gap, yeah.
Interesting topic, isn't it?
He's not as old as I always think he is. In my head, I always think he's like 33 because he plays like an old man, but he's only 31.
Ah, yeah, that surprised me as well, to be fair. No, I would have said 32, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't have gone for 33, 34, but he's been around for a while. And he is, obviously, like I said, he's a championship stalwart for me. And I love the fella to bits, actually, to be honest. But yeah, so Steve Lloyd says ultimately it will be Denor and Kelly and mid by the new year. I don't know about that, Steve, because I mean, I'm not seeing it from Neil Harris yet. I don't know if he's having him or not. B-Line went on to say, flair is probably the wrong word, but you're right. I meant the goals he scored early on. He used to win us games on his own when he first signed before he went to Borough. It's true. I remember that game against Reading. I was going to go on to say, what's everyone's favourite George Saville moment? Obviously, got the goal against Sheffield Wednesday last season. That's prominent in the mind because it's more recency bias. But there was a game against Reading on a Tuesday night in that season. He scored twice. I think one was a header. I'm pretty sure one, maybe another one was a header as well. But I think it was 1-0 down, won the game 2-1. He kind of won us the game single-handedly that day, I felt like. Is there any moments of George Saville sticking in the mind for you, Frankie?
Yeah, it's a recent one. And it's a bit of a strange one. But do you remember he got sent off against Norwich 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Cynical foul in the middle of the edge pitch. As you said, like, proper challenge, recognised the danger, just took him out, done the job. It was never a red card. But for a player to get sent off and get standing ovation, that is proper Millwall.
Proper Millwall.
You've got to respect that now.
A Millwall type player. I'll throw that one into the fire. Millwall type player. It's a bingo card that is for that Millwall podcast, I'll tell you. Charlie Astley says, I've always said we should have Saville as our captain. Dean Joe says, 3 games a week makes it inevitable Saville will be rotated. You say that, Dean, but he played against? He played that week, didn't he? Orient, Sheffield Wednesday. He played 3 games in the week, didn't he? And he held his own, didn't he? I don't know if this is true, but rumours are Chelsea are considering putting Joe as number 2 with a view to taking over when time is right. Ironic. I doubt that, John. I could credit your source, please, because I have no idea about that one. Andrew says, let's sell Saville to the spotters. He'll have a good career in League One. All depends on the contract options of the player. Bradshaw exercised his 1-year option. That is true. We signed Kelly to be Sav's replacement, says for next season, says Jonathan Fraser. Steve Lloyd says, could see Hutch gone next year and Sav's taking the club captain role over. I'd love that, to be fair. And Alex says, Hart would love Sav to stay. Head says probably not, but never rule him out. And Carl says Hutch Wallace last season, so we'll still need Sav. I agree. I totally agree. We'll see. That was Saville's 200th game. That's going to be tomorrow. Let's move on to tomorrow's game, mate. And obviously, we are playing QPR. You've done a bit of a deep dive this week, haven't you? I mean, I'm not going to big it up too much, but you've got some statistics and you've watched, or you've looked back on their last 4 or 5 games of the season so far. Tell us what we need to know about QPR ahead of tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, it's a funny one, to be honest. They've started okay. I mean, unbeaten in their last 4 after losing the first game of the season against West Brom away. No, I think it was at my home, in fact. They lost during the week against Palace, but gave a good account of themselves. So they're on decent form. It's going to be a tough old game. And what's funny looking at, you're thinking, you're sitting there doing a bit of research. I could easily talk about a Millwall side here. But the important stat to know for tomorrow is they haven't won a home game yet this season. So yeah,
killing my dreams here, mate.
You bets on that 1-0 QPR.
Yeah, 1-0 QPR incoming.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I said what I've seen so far this year, they're organised, strongest set pieces are hard to beat. Dominating midfield, they've got 2 strong midfielders in there. So they've got like Jack Colburn, who I think is their sort of version of Saville.
Yeah. Just that one that used to be at Sunderland, Jack Colback.
Sorry. Yeah, he's in Newcastle, yeah. Just solid. He was injured against Palace, but apparently he'll play Saturday. Funnily enough, in my head, I always thought it was a possession side, but if you actually look at the stats, they've not dominated possession once this season.
Oh, really?
So they're a bit different to what I expected. And I said, I think they're very much like ourselves. They want to dominate midfield, like strong, organised, and they'll build off that. One of the big things I'm guessing most of the chatting was you there last year.
Yes.
One of the big things that game for me was their front four last year absolutely battered us. And they had Willock, Chair, they had Lyndon Dykes playing the 10 and Armstrong up front. And they absolutely hammered us. We got nowhere near them. All four are left.
Yeah. Where's Chair now? He's left them, hasn't he?
He's there.
Yeah.
He's not playing the game this season. And if
I think he's got a bit of smoke over his head, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to find out if he's injured or not. And there was sort of no word on him. There's a couple of sort of legal issues that are still ongoing. So who knows what happens there. He'll probably play tomorrow. He'll probably score. So that is Millwall, isn't it? But one of the players that does sort of always sort of stand out when you watch QPR, again, very similar to Millwall, it's not who you'd expect, but Steve Cook, centre-back.
Yes.
Absolutely massive for them. So dominant, gets them playing, just solid. And if we're going to, it's a big old game for Langstaff. It's an opportunity for the bloke, but it ain't going to get much tougher than Steve Cook. So let's see how we get on. I mean, so looking back at some of the history, we've actually got a decent record in recent years. Won 3 of the last 5, lost the other 2.
Yeah.
So that's encouraging, I guess. And it's something you should put up earlier. It said Millwall won just one of their last 12 league away games against QPR, conceding 2 goals in 5 of their last 7 matches. So not fantastic.
No.
It's not a happy hunting ground for us. But it always feels like a game where we take the lead, and then go on to then lose. So even going back to like the days when we had Morris and Harris up front, it was always the same. So and there's just another stat about QPR to get excited about tomorrow. No side's got more points from losing positions in the league than QPR this season. So if we do go 1-0 up early, it's don't get too excited, I guess.
Yeah, we was laughing about pre-show, weren't we? Yeah, no team in the championship this season, chat, has managed to recover points from a losing position more than QPR this season. They've got 5 points from losing positions this season. I know it's only a small sample size, but they're not a side that gives up, that's for sure. And they've not won at home this season, so
1-0 QPR. Yeah.
Don't know what you're on about. Langstaff's going to come to the top here, right? The cream will rise.
Fair enough. 2-1 QPR. We go 1-0 up. Yeah.
What do we think of Frankie's stats and little lowdown of QPR, guys? Do we feel like we're well prepped now? Give him some credit. Give him his flowers. QPR dodgy in the back line, Steve says. If we high press them, then we should nick it. QPR playing a physical game this season, Dean Jones says. Interstellar is want to say Frankie the stat. I think he's giving you. He's the Mill Stato. That's what we're going to call him now. That Mill podcast Stato.
We'll say that.
I said last week Luton could do a number on us, and they did. And I can't see us getting a win tomorrow. Would take a draw, but obviously would be happy with a scrappy 1-0 win. No chair for them, Andrew Roberts says. We'll go on to predictions in a bit, so keep it coming, guys. Your thoughts on QPR in general. Chair has a dodgy back issue, apparently. No chance of playing. The pressing stats from the B-line. Listen,
I try my best, mate. The facts are the
facts. Lots of rain expected in West London tomorrow. Could determine how the game is played. I'm going to wear shorts and t-shirt tomorrow. I saw 23 degrees, so I think we'd be all right, Alex. That's the rule, right? If I see anything above 20 degrees, shorts and t-shirt come out to play.
16, mate. In this
the pressing, for fuck's sake, Frankie, from Daily Mill.
Just think, when we win tomorrow, you'll be laughing at this.
Yeah, that's it. You know, let's build.
What a load of bollocks I was talking. So
let's play down a good performance, and when we win and we're all buzzing, they will be good. Not blaming the stat man, obviously, everyone's saying. So no, they're not blaming you, mate. But the facts are there. 1 win in our last 12 away at QPR. I mean, that day out with what more scoring, and didn't Ollie Burke score that day? No, Ollie Burke missed a chance in the second half. I feel like
he scored.
I remember missing one as well, like a sitter in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, or he played through on goal and then put it wide or something, didn't he?
The goal we scored was a long throw by Zian Fleming. They tried to come off someone's arse and fell to Ollie Burke at the back post all by himself. Worst over the scene. But he'll count.
Ollie Burke.
What club now? What's he doing these days?
I think he was it Wolfsburg or Werder Bremen? Where I think he's still contracted to them. So I don't know what happened there. I suspect they were probably trying to pay him up or something, but not coming to an agreement.
Mm.
Let's be honest. But yeah, him going over there was the most random move ever, and obviously hadn't worked for him clearly because he kept coming back to England, didn't he? So Charlie said Tanganga's overdue a goal. He'll score. I love that, Charlie, mate. I can't back Jake Cooper tomorrow, so I might as well back someone else, right? So, yeah, so that's obviously QPR. Do they still have Senny Dieng in goal, the goalkeeper, or has he gone somewhere else? I imagine that. Who's their goalie now? Be honest with you.
What was his name you said?
Senny Dieng, or his name is
No,
Dieng?
he went to Borough, started
That's it,
last season, then they got Begovic. He's now gone. And they got some foreign guys I'd never heard of.
Fair enough. I will bring it up, actually. I'll tell you right now the names. I've got it open. The goalie is Beadle. That's not a foreign geezer, mate.
That's definitely not the keeper I saw.
I'm not actually. I'm wrong. Sorry, Nardi, Paul Nardi. That was Sheffield Wednesday goalie. My bad. We're professionals there. Right.
Let's to question me about Cifuentes.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even having a beer today. I've got no excuse. I'm on the Pepsi Maxes today, so I've got no excuse. So I'm saving myself for tomorrow. Right. Let's talk about us. Let's get on to our starting 11s for tomorrow's game. I think we'll go position by position, and everyone can get in their comments in the comment section below. We'll start with the goalie. I think it's quite self-explanatory. Jensen in goal to continue tomorrow, mate.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, no arguments there. What have you made of him last few games? Obviously, got the clean sheets, didn't he? He's obviously, seems a bit more confident, doesn't he? And seems to be more at home on that side now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely got better. I think there was a save. I think it's gone a bit under the radar. There was a save he made against Luton where that Mengi centre back turned out a shot on from a corner. I think he got down. It was right to the bottom corner. It was a quality save. No, I think he's coming to his own now after a tricky start.
Even their goal, he made a good save initially, didn't he? And just obviously Mengi tucked it away in the end, didn't he? But he is getting better. Seems to be growing in confidence. So long may that continue. We'll go to right back. I think, again, self-explanatory. Ryan Leonard to continue at right back, Frankie.
Absolutely, 100%.
There you go. Centre halves. So we discussed it earlier on. I suspect it'll be Hutchinson and Tanganga. Do you agree with that one?
I'd be shocked if it weren't.
Yeah.
I can't see Wallace playing and what's Arden up to.
Yeah.
So it's got to be in it.
What do you reckon, chat? What would be your centre half pairing tomorrow? Daily Mill was saying Scanlon left back. Daily Mill, you do know that Scanlon's rumoured to be injured, right? Just put out there. Because he done a post on social media the other day. Rumoured to be injured. We discussed at the start of the show. I don't know if he was there for that. But maybe you're bantering. I don't know. You never know with you, mate. So, yeah, I suspect it'll be Hutchinson and Tango. That's what Steve Lloyd says. They've got to be Hutch and Tango, no other choice. B-Lie says Jensen's getting better every game, in my opinion. I totally agree. Dean Jones says Jensen will come good. Daily Mill says fake news on the Scanlon front. Do we reckon?
Hopefully. It'd be a nice surprise, wouldn't it?
I want to find the picture of his Instagram now because it felt quite clear cut to me. Like I don't know, I thought it was quite clear as day, really, but maybe I'm wrong.
If it's a fake, it's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Leonard with Tanganga put Danny right back to Charlie. Tango and Hutch from Peter. I'll be playing Hardin and give him a chance, but Harris will play Hutch as long as he's fit. Like we said earlier, I don't think Hutch is didn't look that bad last Saturday. Let's go to left back because it'll be an interesting one to see what people think. Who would start left back for you, Frankie, tomorrow?
Dan McMorrow. I think we'll go for the better mad fender. Try and make it solid, make it awkward. I think you'd rather bring Brian on to change the game if you had to. But yeah, what do you think?
I'm not against the shout. I think Danny Mack's done no harm at all, really, and I think he's been really unlucky not to be in the side to start the season. I love the idea of Danny Mack playing tomorrow, to be honest, but that's because he's one of my favourite players of all. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, I don't think Joe Bryan's been terrible, but obviously he did. Scanlon came on at the weekend, didn't he? So it does beg the question.
He struggled first half.
Yeah, he did down the left hand side. It did feel like a bit of a weak spot, didn't it? I mean, I think there's some comments of that Harris has been saying about Danny Mack as well, hasn't there? Where like I think Harris is a fan of Danny Mack, but obviously he likes playing Bryan for the balance. So you never know, right?
So there was an interview during the week. He was talking about the weekend, saying about playing the right people for that sort of atmosphere and for picking the right people for the right game. He was talking specifically about young players. You're thinking the only young player he could be talking about is Essay, but it would seem mental to drop him. But it felt like he was dropping a bit of a hint that there might be a change in the 11. For me, anyway, that's what I read out of it.
I wouldn't be against it. I mean, could be harsh on Brian, but like you say, he maybe struggled in the first half of the weekend. So Peter Sullivan says Brian at left back, Carl Bracey's back four here is Lenny Tanganga and Harding and Danny Mack. Adam says still Joe Bryan for me, just. Andrew says even if Scanlon isn't injured, Harris will still start with Brian. True say. I mean, it's a shame on the Scanlon front if he is injured because he did come up at the weekend. So, I mean, that is Harris starting to integrate him, isn't it? And give him the opportunity. We were losing the game. We thought I'll bring him on to try and chase the game a bit. And there you go. We won it, but it's going to be Brian, says Steve Lloyd. Let's go into the midfield two next. I guess it'll be unchanged. And Saville and Denor. Thoughts?
100%. I'll be shocked if they change them. Yeah.
No Dan Kelly coming into the side or no kind of red herrings in there? No? What do we think, chat? Probably same midfield too, I suspect. We'll crack on, go straight into the...
Who's the boy from Cardiff? He might have a chance.
Brian Wintle.
Yeah, he might have a chance to get in.
That is true.
Experienced, strong. He might try and shut shot, make it awkward. So, who knows?
Harris spoke very highly of him, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I think Harris obviously wanted Wintle from, if you read between the lines. So it does beg the question if he's waiting to put his player in. But then again, you'd say Saville and Denor have not done any harm, have they? So the options are there in the middle, aren't they? So we'll have to wait and see on that one, won't we?
Yeah.
Dean Jones says Harding had a fitness test on the pitch last home game against Luton. Interesting. Was he injured then?
Might be for a transfer. Some of the markets are still open, aren't they? Out there in Europe, so.
I can't see it, but B Line says it's hard to leave Brian out because of the money he's on. Plus, he's on Harris's trusted players. Is he one of Harris's trusted players? I mean, he started the season, so I suppose.
I agree with the money aspect, but I don't think he trusts him.
No, I don't either, to be honest. I don't think he's a player that Harris goes, yeah, he's one of my men personally. But I think he obviously rates him because he wouldn't play him otherwise. Adam says Denor and Sav in the middle. Midfield three from Daily Mirror, Saville, Denor and Honeyman. Peter Sullivan says Sav and Denor. Denor and Honeyman, SAA in the 10 from Chris Brown. Wintle's a really good midfielder, says Steve. And also Carl's gone for Sav and Casper. I think it'll be Sav and Casper, but Wintle is a good player from what I've seen of him. And he played a lot of games at Cardiff, so we know he's capable to come in and make an impact if we can need to call on him. So,
what do you make of Denor so far? Because I thought against Luton, I thought Denor's arguably our best player. I don't know your thoughts are. I don't think in the chat, but I thought he was really good that last weekend.
I get pelters from my mates, and I spoke about it on the show loads of times. On the ball, Denor is incredible. Mm-hmm. Off the ball, I just sometimes think at times we struggle with him in the side. He played well at Sheffield Wednesday off the ball. He was great to balls. I thought at Hull away, I thought like we carried him at times just off the ball. On the ball, you can't doubt him. He's brilliant on it. He gets on the ball, looks up, tries to find a pass, plays forward a lot. I won't ever criticise him for that. I just sometimes do think he's not as all-rounder to be like just playing in the midfield too. But then you've got Honeyman in front of him that helps with the running and getting on second ball. So like I think it works with him in the set that we've got in there at the moment. So I think he's definitely improved. He was brilliant at Sheffield Wednesday. He was good against Luton as well, like you said. So yeah, but he's starting to grow on me, Denor, for sure. I've never said he's a bad player. I just think sometimes off the ball, just sometimes I think flat as to deceive. But listen, if he offers the quality on the ball, you accept that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Off the ball, so it's not the end of the world.
That's what Saville's for, isn't it? So
exactly. And I think they seem to be striking up a good combination between the two of them for sure.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Wintle next week, says Charlie, because he can't play against Cardiff 1st of October. Dan Riggs says Honeyman up front according to Omer. Yeah. Denor is amazing if we give him a free role in the middle. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like on the ball, he's decent, and I like he's probably the best player in the team for that. Like, and he gets up, looks for the pass. He can play them, defense splitting balls. I think in the build up to one of the goals against Sheffield Wednesday, it might have been Coburn's one. He picks out Honeyman then turns and plays it forward too, and he takes it over on the ball, just off the ball. Just for me, sometimes I'm not sure really on Denor, but he is beginning to.
Do you mean the Cooper goal?
I think it was the Coburn one. So I think Denor plays a 1-2 in the middle with someone out wide.
Oh
And
yeah,
then he
SA
plays to
Daniel
Honeyman.
Taylor.
Yeah, then he plays to Honeyman, doesn't he? Honeyman turns and plays it forwards. Like, that's the sort of stuff that you can see it in him really. Andrew says, "Don't get the love for Denor." Agree with him. It's not like I said. I don't think Denor's a bad player by any means whatsoever. But Dean's maybe right here. Denor just beginning to know what it is required to play for Millwall for sure. And playing in the Championship in midfield.
Paris, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 66 people watching and 19 likes. Hit the like button. Yeah, as Adam says there, guys. If you enjoy the show, be sure to like. Me and Frankie are steering the show, just two of us today, so can be daunting at times.
If you think Saville's a good player, hit the likes.
Yeah. And if you think Denor's a good player, hit a like as well.
Hit everyone out. Yeah,
exactly. Right, what about the three behind the striker? So what do we think? What would you go for tomorrow, mate? If you've got the right winger position, number 10, and on the left, what would be your lineup, mate, tomorrow?
This is boring, isn't it? But I don't think we'll change it. I think it'll be what more Honeyman, SA. Stability, people that run, people that work hard, and he seems to trust them. And they ain't played badly in the game. We haven't won games, but we ain't played badly. So I think it'll be unchanged, mate.
On the back of that, saying we ain't played badly, I think you mentioned you sent us little notes beforehand, didn't you? Harris and Hutch have both described this season as frustrating, and we have deserved more from the games than we've got. Agree. Do we agree with that chat? Do we think we should have more than what we've got at the moment? And what's the reason behind why we haven't got those points on the board so far? Have we been unlucky, or has it been issues of concentration? Or the Luton game, I think they got the goal and hung on for dear life in the end, really, and was unlucky not to get back in it. I felt like, but what's the reason why we've underachieved so far this season, guys? What do you reckon? I'll read out some of people's thoughts here. Denor is a ball-playing midfielder, but we were playing him as a defensive mid. He's influencing the game a lot more this season. Daily Mill says, what more SA has two attack midfielders? Langstaff just ahead. Front three is a triangle. Interesting take. Since he has gone, Casper's looked a lot better and more freedom to play, says Dan Briggs. Interesting take. Do you agree, Frankie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I think since 100%. Since he's left, I think he's sort of come out of himself a little bit. Looks a lot more confident. It looks like he's the main man now, I think, in that midfield.
Adam says SA, Honeyman, and Watmore. Aziz, SA in the 10, and Watmore from Charlie. You know what? I agree. I think it'll be the same three. There's no reason to change it. But I do like the look of this, and I think it could have come to fruition one day. Definitely this season at some point. Watmore, Honeyman, SA with Langstaff up top, says Peter. The Serbs on the bench, says Bobby. Mystic Bobby over here. This is Mickey's source normally, as we discovered last week. So the Serbs on the bench, he just got a text, Bobby says. So there, let's see. Honeyman, SA, number 10, and then Duncan Watmore. Honeyman will eventually go into centre midfield for me. SA will be a 10 soon enough, says Adam. Aziz has been a bunny in the headlights from Steve Lloyd. What would you have made of Aziz so far, mate?
Yeah, it ain't been great, has it? It doesn't look like a million well spent so far. I feel from a little bit. Obviously, he's only played probably about a game's worth of football combined. And he seems to play out every time I watch him, he's hugging the touchline. And when he played for Reading, it was cutting inside a bit more. So I think we need to figure out what type of player he is now to get him in the system. But once he gets going, I think it's similar to Langstaff. And once we sort of figure out what they're all about, he'll be absolutely fine. What about you, mate?
Yeah, I think if the likes of Langstaff do hit the ground and start to score goals, and then you've got players in them positions, like in the world where if you go for it, you could at one point have, hypothetically, Watmore, SA, Aziz, Langstaff, all playing, all mobile, all trying to, it could be very fluid and could be, like I said, on the counter. That's what I mean. I can see a lot of pace in that side. So I do see a world where it happens. Aziz has been, he came on again at the weekend, didn't he? I do think he will slowly get more involved, and his time will come for sure.
His process needs sorting out. Is it his final delivery was abysmal every time.
For sure.
It'll come.
It will come. On the point of the season so far, the first two games just highlight how important Tango is to us, says Alex, for sure. I think that's definitely a good take. It's true. Since Tango has come back in, we've conceded one goal. The truth there is to be seen, isn't it, Frankie?
Yeah, it's quality. I don't know how it is, to be honest with you, mate. Every time I watch him, I sit there and think to myself, what? He must think himself, what am I doing here? Like, he should be in the Prem.
I think we'll benefit out of it either way, providing he stays fit. So as long as that continues, I'm happy. Andrew says, well, we are where we are down to a combination of bad luck, not taking our chances, still playing more attacking football than under Rowett and Harris last season, for sure. Aziz is the same as Langstaff. He needs regular football at this level to bed in, says Beeline. I agree. Mm-hmm. But is that going to come? Opportunities, he's competing at the moment with SA. So, make that we will. Aziz disappointed so far, but still needs a bit of time. 1 million price tag not helping him. I think we've gone for a bit less than Adam, but yeah, you're right. Obviously, come in, a bit of expectation behind him. So,
I agree with that. I think the way you've transfer come about, waiting so long, thinking he was going, not know what's going on with the ownership situation, it kind of made it easier for the player.
Yeah, for sure. I think Aziz is going to be the type of player who we need to be patient with. He'll come good, says Charlie. And then Interstellar says we shouldn't judge the players until they get some 90 minutes. It's been hard to drop anyone. See, the problem is, Interstellar, you're right, but when you're a football fan, like we all are, it is very game-by-game reactions and in the moment, and it's hard to then take a step back and look back at the games. It is. You look at the league table, you look at the result, and then that's it. Your mind's made up, at least in the heat of the moment. Sometimes you try your best to take a step back. And, if you look at it like that, since Harris came in, we're still one of the better sides in the division. But ultimately, you do have the bottom line of not winning games. And then that's the pressure, isn't it? So, football fans, right? Is it Frankie? That's how it goes.
Yeah, mate. If you were to ask my opinion on some of these players at, I don't know, 7 o'clock on a Saturday, you get a very different answer to tonight. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, he's right. Like, we shouldn't be judging players this early, but there'll be nothing to talk about if we want. So
that's it. Well, we'll put ourselves out to talk about it. So yeah. Like it. This is how we do it, guys. Like the video. So Dan says, think for the goals this season. Think for the goals scored this season. We're in the top 6 teams. Yeah, we're scoring plenty of goals, aren't we? Andrew says, all of our new players, youth players, need more regular football. Trouble is they're not getting that time. So again, we're saying we need to be patient with players. Maybe the players need to be patient too for the opportunity, I suppose, and hopefully they get the opportunity. Right, we'll complete the lineup, just confirm, and we both think Langstaff starts on Saturday, don't we? Tomorrow.
100%.
So to confirm, our starting 11 is the same, unchanged 11. No, we put Danny Mack at left back, didn't we?
I put Danny Mack left back, yeah.
And also Hutchinson comes in, obviously, but from finishing the game anyway. Yeah. So we've got Jensen in goal, Leonard right back, Hutchinson and Tanganga centre half pairing, Danny Mack left back. I'm going to go with that. I'll stick with you on that one, mate. Saville and Denoy in the midfield 2. And then we've got the same middle 3 of SA, Honeyman, and Watmore. And up front is Langstaff. Mm-hmm. You know what the next question is, don't you?
Predictions?
What's the score going to be tomorrow, mate? What's the score going to be, chat? Let's get your comments in. What's the score going to be tomorrow?
What do you reckon, mate?
No.
Despite all my stats and stuff saying that that point a third thing got us losing, I'm going to go 2-1 Millwall.
Nice. Goal scorers. Let's elaborate on it. Talk me through the game. What's going to happen?
Yeah, Rumba, yeah. I think we'll start bright.
Minute commentary.
Yeah, we'll take kick off. We'll win the toss. I think Tanganga will score, and I think Langstaff. Let's go for it.
Yes. Here we go. Do you know what? I really want to go 2-1 as well, but I'm going to be different. If Arkate went first, I would have said 2-1 Millwall tomorrow. I'm going to go with 1-0 Millwall, Langstaff to score early, and we're going to hold on for dear life at the end of the game. Hutchinson's back in the side next to Tanganga. We'll get an early goal, and we'll see it out win 1-0 tomorrow, and Langstaff gets off and running. It's going to be tough. I'm under no illusions of that, but I'm hoping, because I've not won a home game of the season so far, it's only the start of the season still, we're only in September, but maybe that plays on the minds of the QPR fans, and if we score early, kind of contain them and get to 1-0 half time, I'd back us to hold on to it tomorrow.
Didn't you say that against Luton? It's not about it. It's gone now.
No, this is a new week now. We're here to talk about Millwall against QPR, right?
Get a goal early. Shut the bloke in a sombrero up. I can't listen to the whole game.
Yeah, he's still there, isn't he? Every game, he's always there to the left. I'm sitting outside tomorrow, I think. That's my block tickets anyway. Not that I end up sitting in the seat you want to sit in at my end anyway. Yeah. Score predictions, guys. So we've got Peter Sullivan going 1-2. Dan Daily Mill's gone 2-1 to QPR. Nice and positive. I love it. 1-1 draw from Alex. 1-1 draw from Ken. And more positivity from Dan. We lose 2-0. Bloody hell, guys. What's going on? This is one. How many injuries tomorrow? Because hopefully no injuries tomorrow from Andrew, he says. Any injuries tomorrow, Frankie?
Yeah, probably two. Yeah.
Ryan gets his injuries tomorrow, right?
Yeah, no, both goal scorers both get injured. So, yeah.
Charlie's got 1-1. We're getting a lot of 1-1s in here. I love it. I'll take a 1-1 tomorrow. I want to be positive and say 1-0 or win, but listen, I'll take a draw. If you offer me right now, I'll take it. Want to be positive, says Adam, and say 2-1, but I have a bad feeling it could go the other way just as easily. Not a lot of confident fans today, which I'll say in a minute what I think. This is confidence, though. 3-0, Langstaff hat-trick from B Lion. Yeah, I'll have some of the drinks you're having, please, mate. I'd love it. I'll be happy for it. Carl Bracey says 2-1 Millwall, Langstaff and SA. Head says a 2-1 loss. Hart says a 2-0 win from Andrew. 1-2 Wall from Steve. And desperate to see Langstaff score a goal from Adam. We've also got to be optimistic. 3-1 Millwall, Langstaff ×2, and what more? Yeah, there you go. So what I will say is whenever we're pessimistic about Millwall, they like to give us a bit of enthusiasm. And when the going gets tough, Millwall tend to get going. Let me clutch these straws, Frankie. No?
I mean, yeah, I'll take anything, mate. I mean, if anyone in the chat agreed with my Saville comments going tomorrow and will buy me a beer, I'll gladly accept. But yeah, no, I think you are being optimistic, mate. But
listen,
we'll see. I
thought
we'd win last year. We were absolutely shite. So
we were so bad,
awful,
so bad. Yeah, we'll see. Is it really going to be that bad weather tomorrow? By the way, because like I said, I saw 23 degrees in the sun, and well, not sun. I saw rain, but I saw 23 degrees, and that's the bottom line here. Who's the ref tomorrow? Says Alex. Good question. Who don't? Oh, there we go. Bushby, same ref as Watford game, says the Daily Millwall. B-Line, you are being optimistic, everyone. Millwall me knows Langstaff does his hamstring after 10 minutes, says Charlie. And then Daily Millwall goes on to say, like I said, shit game, shit weather, shit ground. Bobby T absolutely fuming at full time. I like it. Yeah.
Thunderstorms tomorrow.
Thunderstorms.
24 degrees and thunderstorms.
Listen, guys, 24 degrees. It's shorts weather. Catch me in a shorts and t-shirt in the way end tomorrow.
You'll stand out.
Yeah, be fine. Yeah, here we go. Before we finish off, this is a good one actually. Boxing tomorrow, AJ versus Dubois. Why don't we throw a prediction for that? Alex S says, I'm going AJ in the 9th round. I know we've still got some things to give away. So there was a question we done last week and we haven't forgot about it. So if anyone nails predictions right now for AJ next week for tomorrow, I might try and get Mickey to give something away next week as well on the show. So I'm going to go AJ inside 5 rounds. AJ round 4. What do you reckon tomorrow, mate? In the boxing.
That's really annoying, that. Because I was going to say AJ round 4. Let's go AJ 6.
You know we've got to back it now, haven't we? Right? We both said it. It's going to come in. I think you'll have too much Dubois, but Dubois is a proper, he's a heavyweight. So who knows? Anything's capable of happening. You see. But I think AJ does do it. AJ on points from Daily Millwall. Doesn't go past 5 rounds for Adam. AJ will win. Thunderstorms. Langstaff is definitely getting electrocuted. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's our predictions. That is our show. That is our preview for tomorrow's trip to Loftus Road. Thanks for coming on, Frankie, mate. Enjoyed it?
Yeah. Enjoyed it, mate. AJ in the 4th round is 12-1.
Oh, here we go. That is worth a tenner. What's that with a Millwall 2-1 win?
I'll get back to you in the chat.
AJ knockout round in second round from Carl. AJ 5 rounds. The boy will quit or quiet from B Line there. And we've got a 1-1 from Connor to end it as well. Guys, if you've enjoyed today, be sure to leave comments and let us know what you think. Like the video. It's been great doing it. I've enjoyed it tonight. And hopefully tomorrow, if you see me at the den, see me at the game, let's grab a beer. I'm confident. Millwall normally, when the going gets tough, we tend to get going. Injuries, backs against the wall. We'll dig it out and win 1-0 tomorrow. I fancy us. I really do. 1-0 Millwall Tanganga score is 200-1 on Sky Bet. that's the energy we need right now. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks, Frankie, for joining me, and we'll be back again next Friday, probably sooner, obviously on the weekend. We do a little space on Sunday morning with Jay. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you again soon. Cheers.